Oh, my head's cut off. Let's stick this back a little bit. Sorry, guys. I know that you have to see my head. All right, so here we got Morty the Mortuary Dog. Yay, Morty the Mortuary Dog. How are you? How are you? Good. All right, so still working on his social aspect out when he's in public. I think M's been doing a great job with that, taking him to the places that he needs to go to get over some of his, it's not great anxiety, it's just there's a level that when you have a service or therapy dog that you want it to be really, really good and not reactionary to other dogs and that kind of stuff. But and with me, he doesn't do that. But again, M being a female and he's going to be working with a female, there are some differences for dogs when they're with different people. So I want to make sure that I give him the best chance of being successful at what he's going to be doing, at what his job is going to be doing. And one of the things that he's going to do is we want him to do tricks every so often. Because remember, the idea of Morty the Mortuary Dog is for him to take some of the stress away that's involved when you know, you're getting ready to bury somebody, making decisions about you know, what kind of casket and where they're going to be buried and blah, 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 blah. So there's all that's going to be happening. So the trick that we want to teach on this one is the high five. Now, we're going to go back to using some treats a little bit here. I'm using Dandy Lamb Dinner Patties and Stella and Chewy. Stella and Chewy is one of my favorite alternatives to feeding raw and natural. Of course, many of you know that are watching this, we have a program that teaches you how to feed your dog raw and natural in our FalcoDogTraining.com website, and so you want to go there. I featured on this one TrainTheDogTrainer.com because I want to make sure that people are aware that we do have a trainer program. I just added in the last couple of weeks probably 9 new videos. This portion of videos I just added have to do with teaching people how to do the group obedience class. And all the things that you need to do to have that, how to have a roster, how you can create a roster cheaply and just get started, and what you need to consider before you start teaching a group obedience class. And then we give you our actual 7-day program. It's actually an 8-week program, but the actual time on the field is seven days, and we do a class once a week. So that's why we come up with the weeks. But in this case, back to what we're talking about here. We're going to use some treats, and what you need to do when you're training a dog to do anything, right, is to train the dog how to be successful and what it is you're trying to tell him to do. So if you want a dog to sit, when he sits, you tell him to sit, and then when you actually can help him put his butt on the ground. And that's one way of doing it. Again, there's several ways to do all these things that I'm telling you. I'm just going to show you some of the things I find that are easy for me and how it is that we actually get a dog to do it. Now, it'll probably be easier if so Morty's up here, and when you are getting to start to teach the high five, one way of doing it, let's first get our treats ready. All right, let's, these are pretty big patties. You can see that's a pretty decent, oops, get out of here, pretty decent sized patty. So I'm going to break it up, up here, top. There you go, good. I'm going to break it up into little tiny pieces. Freakazoid. All right, I'm going to put it back here. And so back up here, top. All right. So when we want to teach the high five, what we want to do is make it as simple for the dog to learn as possible. Now, I'm trying to do this up here so you guys can see, is that you take the dog's paw. Oops, yeah, come here. Here, up. So he's looking for the treats. We're going to let him settle down here for just a minute. This is where patience come in, right? This is where when the dog is trying to do something that's not going to allow us to kind of get started, we want to have our patience. We just want to sit here and wait for the dog to get over the fact that he knows the treats are behind me, and that I'm just going to wait for him to want to give me attention. And you don't want to do it with force. You don't want to, you know, force the dog to like, oh, stay, and get all mad, because then that takes away from the learning process. And so we're just going to pet him a little bit. He's being good right now. And so if I'm going to teach a dog how to high five or shake or whatever it is you want to do, one thing you might do is you hold up his paw, put his paw in your hand, and tell him, good, nice, that's what we wanted. And so we're going to take a little bit of a treat, and we're going to give him a treat, right? Did he learn on anything on that one? Maybe not too much, but we're getting the process started, all right? So this is what I did a couple weeks ago and just kind of got the thing started. So he already knows how to do a high five. I'm just showing you how we got started. So you take his paw again, and we go, good. That's what we want. So we want him to put his paw on my hand. And then when he does it, we show him that he's being good. Good. remember we did clicker training at the very beginning. If you're watching this for the very first time, we taught Morty the concept of clicker training. In other words, giving the dog a signal of when he did something right, and that is a promise that he's going to get a treat for it or some type of reward. Right? So right now I'm using good. So I've gotten away from the clicker. Now I'm using the word good to teach him what it is I want. Oh, good. Nice. So he did that on his own without the command, and so that's kind of where we get to when we're teaching that high five. Now, understand that it took me about 10, 15 repetitions to get to the point where I was able to hold my hand out and get him to actually put his paw on my hand. So now, so let's now fast forward. Now let's say, I'm going to wait. So let's say that now we were working on this. I showed him a couple times, and a couple times I started to pick up his paw, and he started to pick up on his own, and then he put his paw. Nice, good, nice. So we got to that point, right? I do less of the work of actually picking up his paw, and he does more of the work of picking up his paw, and then I try to guide his paw into my hand until I'm good. So over time, nice, good. He learns to put his paw in my hand. All right. So now we're fast forwarding, right? So I went to the point where I was showing him that I wanted his paw in my hand by actually taking his paw and putting it in my hand, and then I started to use less pressure, and hoping that he would now do most of the work. And then once he started doing the work in my hand in this position, this would then start the process of understanding that I want his palm in my hand. So I'm not at the high five yet, right? I'm still at the low five. So if the goal is the high five, what do you think is next, right? You start turning your hand over and raising it up, right? Sit. So you start raising your hand up, and I would go from this flat spot to a sideways spot. Morty, high five. Nice. Good. And give him a treat. And now I'm adding the word high five. I'm adding high five to to the command. So I don't want him to do it on his own now. He's not going to get anything, right? So now we want it to be about the command. See, for a period of time, we are hoping he's just going to do it on his own, right? So that's fine, but we don't want the dog now to walk up to everybody and just like paw them in the face or paw them in the hand when they're talking. Now we want to maybe put it to a command. If we want to put the command now, we don't reward for him doing this, right? So just a little while ago, I spoiled him because I was trying to show you the process, but where we're at now is that I want him to do it on command. So now he's waiting, right? So I can hold my hand open and close it, and if he decides to do it, I'm not going to give him a reward. So this is where this begins to take shape. All right. So now I'm going to have a reward ready right here. So I'll just have one ready, and now I'm going to say high five. High five. Nice. Good. So now I only reward after he gives me the behavior that I'm looking for. Let me see what somebody wrote here. Oh, we got people to join. Hey, Ann. Nice to see you, Ann. All right. So now our hand's down here. So as we expect more of the dog, we're going to begin to raise the hand up, right? So now if I have my hand out and he decides, so now I'm waiting. Now I'm setting him up for both failure and success. So this is failure, right? I'm not even going to respond. So that's failure, because now I'm teaching him, no, now we've changed the rules, right? I'm not being cruel. I'm not correcting him for do that. He's just not going to get the response that he knows that he gets when he's right, which is the word good, or it could be a click, or a response to me to let him know that what he's doing is good. So now that's training to failure. Now we're going to train to success. Now I'm going to raise the hand up a little bit higher. High five. Nice. Wow, that was a good one. That was a great response, right? Nice. Very good. That was actually one of the best things. That's the progress that we have made over the last couple of days. This is the third day that we worked on this training. We set him up a little bit earlier on because I kind of let him fail. I rewarded the failure earlier because I wanted to explain it to you. All right. So, Marty, sit. Sit. Good. Nice. So now I went from here to here. Now I'm going to go high five here. All right. You ready? High five. Nice. I love the look on his face when he does that. All right. Very good. So let's help him be successful a few more times. High five. Oh, that's a high 10. So that's wrong, right? We don't want both hands. If he's high-fiving a small child, he might get them in the face. If he's getting somebody that's elderly, it may be too much. So now we want to teach him only one paw. And so again, we do the same thing. So that was a failure. We're not going to give him a reward for that. We just want one paw. High five. High five. No. High five. Nice. Oh, you almost got the one up there, but I already said good. right? And this is where we massage it. And again, this is where patience come in. We just take our time. We wait for those moments of failure, and we wait for those moments of success, and we react appropriately. Morty, high five. Nope. High five. Nice. Good. Wow, that was so good. Very nice. Very nice. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. High five. Nice. We got one paw. Let's see if we can do one more. Here is the challenging part for every dog trainer, for every human being we train. Now, right, we had 2 successions of success, right? Now you make a decision. Do we want to end on success? Yes. How many times do we have failures where he put up both paws, or he did it when he wasn't supposed to, and that kind of stuff? We kind of weigh that out. All right, so we had 2 repetitions where he did really well. This is where we decide when to quit, right? In most cases, I would say probably let's quit on that last one. And just to show you what can happen, because now if I do it again, what can happen? He can fail, and now we have to wait for him to be successful again. That can take 10, 15, 20 more minutes, and now we're getting to a place of where learning begins to stop. The only reason I'm going to go forward with this is to show you either just by luck we got another repetition of success, or if we have failure, how long it's going to take to come back to have a couple repetitions of success, right? And how we respond to that. So, high five. All right, I'm not going to push it because that was really good. All right, that was so good. All right, so see how easy that kind of worked out. We saw a couple different things that would happen to you when you're teaching that, and that is again, that was 3 sessions of teaching him the high five. He didn't know anything about the high five. He did we did it low to start, and I actually took his paw myself, showed him how to be successful. When he began to recognize that, hey, I get treats when my hand is touching that paw. Maybe if I did it myself, I'll get a treat even faster. And that's where the connection with the dog to the behavior begins. And now that's with nonverbal, right? I'm just looking for him to understand that when I have my hand like this, I want you to put your paw in my hand. And then I begin to raise it up. As I'm beginning to raise it up, I take away that him doing it on his own and add that now I want him to do it on my command. So as he begins to do it on his own, he gets nothing. Now I add the word, and now when he does it on my command, right, I've changed the rules and the requirements for the reward, and now he begins to understand, oh, it changed, somehow it changed. I have to wait for him to say that combination of words, which is high five, and now I'm going to put my paw up. And the next thing that happened is he goes, well, I'm going to try even harder. I'm going to put 2 paws in his hand. I might get twice as many rewards. Who knows what's really going on in the dog's head? But they see the excitement of the dog. They go, shoot, I'm going to try both paws, right? And I go, no, that's not what I'm looking for. Remember back when I did this and I said high five and you touched me with one paw? Let's see if we can get back there. He then will at some point goes back to that either on purpose or on accident. I don't care. I don't care if it happens on accident, right? I care that it just happens. So when it happens, then I go, yes, nice job. That was really, really cool. And I give him the reward. He tries the 2 paws again, nothing. He tries the 1 paw again. Good, what a great dog. And then we repeat, and we try to only do it 1 or 2 more times. Don't go again, like, and try to do it 10 times, because I'm telling you, you're gonna fail. It's gonna go wrong, and then it's gonna be really hard to get to that place of success. If you quit at a place of success, only 1 or 2 or 3 successions of success, if you only get that, that's where you need to quit. Don't push it, and you go on to something else, or you put him in a crate or in the kennel, and then you come back either later on in that day or another day. You'll see how much better it sticks, because the more you go where you have failure and harder to get success, it will become very convoluted in the dog's head. What was success? I cannot remember now, because we did so many of the other things that now I can't remember where success is. Maybe sometime you dropped the treat when he was kind of like, when he hit you with his back paw, right? And he goes, oh, maybe that's a solution too to this problem. Or maybe he, a treat fell when he yawned, and now he thinks, well, now yawning is part of it. You see how this can happen. So if you keep it down to very short, quick training sessions of success, and look for those opportunities to have success very quickly, make the decision to quit on success and give him the jackpot of the rest of the treats and maybe an additional one for doing nothing, that it ends on a positive note, right? Then you're going to have a happier dog. You're going to be happier because you don't have so many failures where you can't get back there, right? And the session ends on a very positive note. You see his tail's wagging, he's having a good time. The last thing I didn't mention is you may be wondering, why do I have a leash on the dog and you're in your backyard? He can't go anywhere. The reason is because you want to curtail the dog's opportunity to get lost in the environment. A butterfly flies by, or a bird lands, or whatever it is. Somebody comes out the door in the middle of a training. You want to curtail the time it takes you to get him back into the training situation. And so by having a leash, I can control his movement and make sure that I don't have to deal with other stuff that happens as much. By he's going to try, right? So that having a leash on is, I think, really important, especially in the early stages of training. Later on, you can begin to experiment with off-leash and that kind of stuff, but don't do it too early. Usually people try to do it too early, and it sets you back, right? It's always about, how is it that can we have success? Set yourself up for success, the best that you possibly can, and that has to do with the environment. Environmentally, an environment. It has to do with the tools, right? It has to do with patience. Are you in a position, in a state of mind that allows you to be successful? Are you having a bad day? Maybe not a good time to do training. Now for me, sometimes training actually helps my bad day, right? But make sure that you're in that frame of mind that you're not going to get frustrated, you're not going to quit, you're not going to throw down the leash and go, stupid dog, right? You want to have all those things in place and use it as an opportunity to connect with your dog and have a greater relationship with your dog. All right? Way to go, Morty. Nice. Should I do it? No, I'm not going to do it. All right. Good job. Nice job. I just rewarded him jumping on me. All right. Hope that was helpful, and I appreciate you joining. I see there's other people on here. I'm glad you watched. I hope it was helpful, and we will see you at part 8, whatever that is. I'm not sure what that's going to be, but we'll see you at part 8 of Morty the Mortuary Dog. Thinking about training Shy Dog, where he puts his paw over his nose, and I'll show you how we get him to do that too. All right. Thanks, Ann. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.